Hello everyone. I hope you're all doing wonderful today and keeping warm. I know half the United States is receiving snow, so yay! Or nay, depending on how much you like snow, right? Alright, well, you're on Tony's Witchy Arts and Crafts, and I'm Tony. Hi, hello. So, I know that the camera's here, but I keep looking at myself here, so if I keep looking back and forth, just ignore me, okay? But this is going to be a somewhat quick video because I just wanted to show you what I've been working on for the last 2 days. I don't know, I've been in a weird mood. Winter seems to put me in kind of like a hibernation mood. Like I just don't want to talk to anybody, but I want to craft and just be in my own little world, you know. It's weird. But I was pretty much out of boho beads, and I love using boho beads on my junk journal. So I'm going to make a bunch of boho beads, which I have started. So I wanted to show you what I've got so far. Let's see. I use all kinds of fabrics, twine to glitter ribbons, beads, wire. I mean, you can see. There is tons of boho bead tutorials out there, so I'm not going to make this into too much of a tutorial. But you can see that you can make them many different sizes, shapes. I mean, there's really no rules to boho beads. You just use all your scraps pretty much. And here's some that I had left over, are slightly plainer. So you can get fancy or keep them plain. But all it is, the majority of it is just using up scraps. Like these are all just little clippings to leftover projects. There's lace in there, there's ribbons, there's twine, yarn, fabrics. I mean, you name it, it's in there. Like leftover tulle. Yeah. I keep that in there. Leftover doilies. I mean, it's all in there. Different types of fabric. I even have some of that glitter ribbon, sticky ribbon from Dollar Tree. Even have some of this stuff in there. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff over here. Just all your scraps. And some wire, and depending on how thick your base is how thick your wire should be. So you can see, like, this one's pretty thick, but then that one's pretty thin. And this is the Dollar Tree floral wire. And then just random beads. Like, if you have a whole bunch of beads and they have no, like, twins to them, you can mix and match. Like, let's see. Like this one. I have one of that one. And then I had one of that one. And then and one of that one. And one of that one. They look kind of similar, but they were different shapes, different sizes. And then sometimes I do match on both ends. I think the hardest part is just trying to find the right bead to go on my wire. But I use, okay, so this is a straw, a paper straw from Dollar Tree, and I just cut it up. I just cut them up, different sizes. And then I have plastic straws. This is a nice thick one. And then I have some tiny thin ones. And some are brand new, some are used. But if you use a used straw, Please wash it out thoroughly, let it dry 24 hours. You know, don't want any germs growing inside your boho bead. But it's another way of recycling something instead of throwing it away. So, I will start with, let's see, I'll do this. I think I got this thickness of wire from Michael's, I think it was. And I just kind of find a length here, cut it off. You guys are pretty much getting this view because my desk is a mess. And I'm kind of in the mood where I just want to say F it to everything today. And I didn't want to like struggle to find room for my tripod or something for my camera. Alright, so here's my ribbon. Not my ribbon, my wire. And I'm just gonna take and make a loop. Keep this in the camera. See, I think I've showed you guys this before. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And then I just cut this excess off. And that looks like that. And then you just string everything on. So, just gotta figure out what I want to do now. Kind of wanted to do another black bead, so let's put some red on the ends here. That's pretty. Not a pretty bead. It's like a glass bead with red in it, but then it has like gold and black streaks through it. It's really pretty. But let's see. I kind of want something to go over it. Like a, let's see, here's a spacer. So, okay, so this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one seed bead, the red bead, and then a spacer, but I'm going to face it upward so it's curving around this bead. Okay. Then I'll take one of my straws. Now this part, I've seen some people decorate the straw first and then slide it on with the rest of your stuff. But for some reason I find it so much easier to have the straw on your wire first, because when you start gluing stuff onto it, you can hang onto this instead of trying to hang onto that while you're wrapping everything. Does that make sense? So now I need one more spacer. Make sure I got the right one. And then I put my spacer on. Oops. Then I put my red bead on. And then one of my seed beads. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this end as I did to this end. Okay. And I try not to wrap it too tight, so I don't want it too. I don't want it too tight because I do take wire. I'll show you what I do with the thinner wire, but I do wrap it around there and there. And so if I just leave a little bit of space, by the time you're all done, you won't even see that there's space because it gets pretty full and chunky. Okay, so that's what we're at now. Now let's move these boho beads out of the way here. Okay, I said black, right? I want to do black. So, I think the only black piece of is that, so I'm going to try to put some of that on there. But it's too wide because your stuff doesn't have to be the same width of your straw because you're just going to keep wrapping it around anyways. So I think that's probably a good piece right there. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue right there and then put my fabric down and start wrapping it around. Try not to burn yourself. Now I've seen other people use fabric tack glue. That works too. I tend to get very messy with that though, and I can be quite impatient sometimes, and so I want things to move fastly and dry fast so I can continue. I don't want to have to wait for something to dry. Okay, so can you see what I'm doing? So I'm just going to keep wrapping that around the bead. Okay, until it's all covered. Okay, so I think that's enough. Okay, I've covered my straw and I still have some left over, so you could either start wrapping it back the other way or just cut it off. I cut it off because I add a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to make it bulky enough. But that's what it's looking like so far. Okay. Hold on, I got some hot glue on me. I gotta try to get off the hot glue strings. Has anyone ever worked with hot glue so much that you probably don't have any more fingerprints left? Okay, so now what I will do is I will add some kind of like twine or thread or something else. Or if I want another color in there, I could take this one and wrap just a little bit in the middle, which I think I might do that. So I just cut just a little piece off, and I'm going to put it right in the middle. And I might wrap that around just a few times. Then I'll add some twine and then some beads. Okay, I think I like that one. Okay. Sometimes this can get quite messy. I even started playing around with paper clips. Doing the same thing, paper clips. So I'm still working on that one. But I thought I would stop and take time to work on a bead with you guys. So this is what it's looking like so far. Now I'm going to add some of this gold thread. And this is kind of the length that I might or might not need. And what I do is I tie one end. Come on. Okay, so I tie one end in between the big bead right here that we're working on, and then the spacer bead. Can you see that? Yeah. So I just tie it right there, and then I just start wrapping it around. And then I will wrap it around this other side a few times, and then I will go back to the other end and tie it onto there. Okay. So I made it back to the other end, and now I'm just going to tie it off. Okay. So that's what it looks like so far. And now I'm going to do pretty much the same thing that we just did, but I'm going to use wire and beads. Okay, I'm back. I had to pause you guys for a second because my husband wanted to talk to me. Alright, so where was I? Okay, so we just finished wrapping, and I'm going to do the exact same thing but using wire and beads. So I use this Dollar Tree stuff, and I get a good length of it. Okay. I got my clippers buried here. And let's see, I think I'm going to use these beads right here. Aren't those pretty? And this isn't going to come out as a black bead, just kind of a multi-dark colored bead. I need to find some black fabric, because I think that would look really cool if I had like a pure black bead and used black beads and everything. I might have to do that later today. Okay, so I just took my wire, and again I just wrapped it around the neck of that in between there. Okay, Just wrapped it around a few times. And now I'm going to take my other end and start adding beads onto it. So I'm just threading my beads on right now. See? So I'm just going to keep threading those on. You want quite a bit. You might have to fill the tip of your wire up maybe 3 times like that, because we're going to wrap it all the way around. And we'll do our first. Okay. So that first layer of beads that I put on, see, that's how it's looking. We're going to need some more. This can be a very time-consuming project, but I really like it. Especially if I'm like in a mood, then I just like to just take time making a bunch. So I just filled it up twice now. Now I'm doing it 3 times. So I usually have to fill it up about 3 times here. Wrap it around. Okay, so that's my 3rd time. And I think I have to put just a little bit more on there, so filling it up my 4th, but not as much. Okay. And I get to the end and I wrap the wire around that neck. And as you're wrapping though, I don't know if you guys can tell, some of your thread might come a little loose. That's okay, don't panic. It's just when you start wrapping stuff over the top of it, you'll make the bead tighter, and then this becomes looser, you know. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's okay. Okay, now that we've wrapped our wire around the neck of that other end, we're going to take the excess of it and just kind of wrap it back to the other end where you started. And it's okay if your wire crosses over the beads. What I'm doing is, let's see if I can, I'm going in between a bead, just putting that wire down. And then by doing that, you're kind of holding the beads in place. They won't slide up and down or anything because you have that extra wire going back over them, holding them in place. So, there you go. I hope that was helpful for you. And then I just wrap that wire around the neck of the bead right there. And then the top of your bead kind of looks like that, and so I'm just going to cut this and this off. And then I take my little pliers, and if there's little pokies sticking out after cutting them down, I kind of just take that and like squeeze them down so they're hiding in the neck of the bead. So there we go. And we got a boho bead. And so now I'm getting a collection of them going on here. See? Just got a collection of them going on. Pretty cool, huh? I love them. I think out of the ones I've made so far, I think my two favorite ones are these ones. I really like the blue fabric that I used in this one, and I really like the purples that I used in this one. But there you go. That's all I'm doing today. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good day, and stay warm. Okay?